Good evening. We call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. We note that we have all council members present. I see Lars, Karen Lang, Tom Hume. Okay. This is our regular council meeting that we hold essentially every week. However, this is not a typical city council meeting. We have 3 of our council members who will be participating electronically from other locations, most likely home, etc. There are 4 members of the council here. We usually have many staff members, etc., city manager here, but they will also be participating electronically. This is new technology. We actually have scheduled a major overhaul of our sound, audio and video equipment here in the chambers starting tomorrow. Unfortunately, it wasn't in time for tonight, but we have put together, our staff has worked hard over the last few days to put together a system to allow us to have this electronic meeting and anyone can participate in this meeting. So we'll continue to conduct city business and we'll do it responsibly under the current circumstances. Our council members here are seated far apart and staff members so that we are following the guidelines for the social distance during the coronavirus issue. So we're trying to, of course, limit the number of people in a gathering as directed both nationally and in our state. Let's see, what else? Oh, those council members have been instructed on the way to participate. They have an electronic raise their hand signal. When we get to that point, we will also instruct everyone else in this issue. For those who are joining us on Google Zoom, we do have a process whereby our city recorder is tracking those who are participating and will, when a hand is raised for appropriate times to participate, we'll recognize those and we'll take time to do that. And you need to make sure that we are able to hear your voice when you participate. I think there's just a couple of second lag there typically. So, but if you'll be patient and work with us, we will try to make sure that everyone who desires will be able to participate. And the raising of the hand does not automatically start you. Our city recorder has to manually click on a button to say you're unmuted, you can now talk. Okay? So with that, we have an opening ceremony as is our tradition, and Councilmember Don Christensen will lead us in that opening ceremony.
Would everyone, wherever they are, please stand and find a flag close by and let's pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mayor, you might want to let them know that the sound is not the same as usual, and so the TV feed on channel 16 will not have sound.
Okay, that is correct. Councilman Christensen reminded me that because of the change in the electronics, traditionally this meeting was broadcast over channel 17 from Comcast. Mm-hmm. That picture, I think, is still there, and at the bottom instructions are located because there will not be sound in conjunction with that. We could not get the sound to work together. They tried it. It was
Too many microphones in one place.
Yeah, there was feedback, there was echoing, and it made it difficult for anyone to hear, even here in the council chamber. So the sound will be in conjunction with this Google Zoom. And of course, this will be available. It will be recorded and people can follow up and be involved with listening to it at a later date in their own homes. Anything else we ought to mention there? Okay. Then approval of our minutes of March 10th.
Move to approve the minutes of March 10th.
Second.
Properly before us. Any comments? Okay. And I paused to always look at our city recorder for our council members who are online so that need be they can participate. So all in favor of approving the minutes of March 10th, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Passes unanimously. The minutes are approved. Next, we have a proclamation recognizing April 1st of 2020 as official West Valley City Census Day. Now, I do have a question for staff. We were going to have a large activity that day.
It has been canceled.
It has been canceled. So do we need to change the official day? Mr. Pyle, if you, our city manager, could you assist us here for a moment?
Yes, Mayor. How can I help?
The proclamation reads April 1st as West Valley City Census Day, but that was canceled. Should we change the date on the proclamation?
I'm certain that we can. I'm not sure what it has been changed to, if anything, yet at this point. Would you like to adopt it just with the date as it's on it, just for the purposes of recognizing the event, or would you rather wait to adopt the proclamation when it's been changed again? We could do that.
No, actually, Councilmember Fittipaldi has been very heavily involved in that. Let's give him a chance to respond to.
I was just going to clarify that the Census Day activity was actually scheduled for April 4th.
Oh.
But nationwide and April 1st is Census Day. So
Okay.
I think the proclamation can stand, but there is wording in the proclamation that mentions the April 4th activity. And so maybe we end up just omitting that part of it.
Okay, so in the motion, when we adopt it or whatever, let's just clarify that. Okay. Wayne, thank you. Councilman Fittipaldi, thank you. With that, we'll have Councilmember Fittipaldi read the proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. And with that, I do want to also recognize and acknowledge the excellent work of our West Valley City Complete Count Committee and the efforts of Mr. John Rock for coordinating and all the staff who have helped with that as well. Okay, so here we go. A proclamation recognizing April 1st, 2020 as the official West Valley City Census Day. Whereas the U.S. Census is required by the U.S. Constitution to conduct a count of the population and provide a historic opportunity to help shape the foundation of our society and play an active role in American democracy. And whereas the West Valley City Council recognizes that a full and accurate count during the 2020 decennial census is extremely important to the city of West Valley in terms of economic benefit, ability to responsibly plan, and help ensure safer communities, schools, and neighbors. And whereas the West Valley City Council is committed to ensuring that every resident is counted, whereas according to the United States Census Bureau, each resident in Utah that is counted during the 2020 decennial census will bring back $1,086 in direct federal aid to their community. And whereas census-directed funding is vital to funding programs such as Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, reduced school lunch prices, CHIP, roads and highway construction and maintenance, after-school programs, HUD housing projects, and countless other federal programs West Valley City residents utilize. And whereas a 10% undercount in West Valley City would represent over $1 million in lost sales tax revenue and over $14 million in census-directed funding. And whereas a full and accurate count will ensure West Valley City and its residents bring back their proportional share of over $675 billion in census-directed funds back to Utah. Whereas West Valley City recognizes that as a growing and diverse city, it is important to support the U.S. Census Bureau in assisting in a complete and accurate count. And to this date, it has funded its own complete count committee. And then the part that we would omit that mentions the April 4th activity here. Whereas the West Valley City Complete Count Committee is working in partnership with the U.S. Census Bureau to ensure a full and accurate 2020 decennial census count. Now, therefore, we, the mayor and the City Council of West Valley City, Utah, do hereby proclaim and recognize April 1st, 2020 as West Valley City's official census day and urge and support our residents to complete the 2020 U.S. decennial census.
Thank you very much. With that, then, we'll go to our public comment period. And just a couple of items of instruction here. We will go to the public for a comment on anything that they would like. We will still adhere to our 5-minute rule, no one person more than 5 minutes. We will spend up to a half an hour. And comments are directed to the mayor. It's not question and answer. It's not a debate. It's simply time for an individual to share his comments with the council. The council may afterwards make a few comments, but not necessarily so. If you are joining us electronically, there is a feature called the electronic raise hand feature. What you do is you can typically touch, if you're on the touchstone screen, or you get the 3 dots, additional menu, drop-down menu, and it will show you the request to raise a hand. If you click on that, that will send that signal to our city recorder, and appropriately then we can recognize you for some comments. And she will unmute your microphone so that we can hear you. With that, then, we do have a couple of people we already have indicated. We have Adam David Lee. Is that one of the people on there? No?
No.
And then we have Jake Swap. If you'll come back to, is that where we need to speak from, is back there?
It could be up here.
Or you can come up here. We have now microphones that will pick up wherever you are, but if you want to just come up here at the front of these seats, or, yeah, about right.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so I just wanted to comment against the zone change in the old shop co-op. Just basically the same comment as last time. I just it's just really about the zone changing, the rezoning the lot. I just you know, I see it as the beginning of the end, maybe, of my little community, but there's nothing against Fetzers or anything, just against the zone change. At this, everything that seems to be allowed in a C2 seems like a great business to be across the street from. And you know, I was posed the question last time, would you rather see it empty? And of course, we all agree that nobody wants to see the lot empty. But I thought about it, and I thought, you know, if I would like to see it empty for, you know, a year or something, and see something like a supermarket move in there rather than the warehouse, which is what it will be if it's rezoned, I would say, yeah, I'd rather see it empty for a year, X amount of time, and see something more, just more likable to me living across the street. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone electronically?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and then.
All right. Public number 2, Jim Visock, you are being unmuted.
It's Jim.
It is.
Can you hear us, Jim?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know that Channel 17 sound is broadcasting, and I'm glad to see everybody's healthy. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you for that update.
We have
I-
another member of the public as well.
Okay, and this one is
Joe Wixom.
Joe Wixom. All
And
right.
he is now unmuted.
Okay, Joe, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm the president and CEO of Fetzers, and I just wanted to publicly thank the city council for entertaining our motion for the zone change to improve the area of the old Shopco and continue the strength of business that we bring to West Valley City. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. So there's no one else?
No, sir.
Okay. With that then, we'll close our public comment period. Mr. Pyle, do you have any comments you want to add at this point?
I do not. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, council members? Are any of our council members raising?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
So none of that. So now we will go to a public hearing for application ZT-1 2020 filed by our city requesting a zone text change to our code. This is to add height and area limitations for attached private garages. One of the interesting things, we had general standards already in place for attached and detached garages. But it turned out that sometimes those garages would dwarf the home that was on the property. In order to bring some consistency to that and to maintain the integrity of a neighborhood, the proposal is to change to the following standard. When the maximum height of the garage when a home is less than or equal to 14 feet in height, for detached garage will remain at 14. Attached garages were 30 feet, but our proposed standard now would say that would be limited to 14 feet as well to match the home. When the home is between 14 and 20 feet in height, then it will be the height of the home. Before it was 30 feet. So again, we're just matching it with the house. If it's over 20 feet in height, the home, then it's 20 feet if there's no living space above the garage, but 30 feet if there is living space above the garage. And then the maximum area of the garage would be no more than the total above grade area of the home. Those are the proposed changes for this particular change. In conjunction with this, we will consider Ordinance 20-14. But at this point, we will open a public hearing on this issue. And so we will now see if there's anyone here to speak to this issue. Not in the here. Is anyone online?
No, sir.
There's no one online. Didn't think it was too controversial, but obviously not. So with that, I will close the public hearing portion, come back to the council for a motion or discussion or comments.
Mayor, I move for approval of application ZT-1 2020.
Second. I'm sorry.
Ordinance 20-14.
Okay, thank you. And second. Okay, any further comments? Any from the council members online?
Nope.
Okay.
We're good.
Seeing no comments, then we will place the motion for a vote and we'll turn to our city recorder for the roll call.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Our next public hearing will be application GPZ-1-2020 filed by Fetzers Inc. This will be a general plan change from mixed use to light manufacturing and a zone change from C2 general commercial to M manufacturing, and for a development agreement. And so we will consider in conjunction with this 3 separate items. Ordinance 20-15, which is the general plan change, which is the mixed use to light manufacturing. Ordinance 20-16, a zoning change from C2 general commercial to manufacturing. And resolution 20-28, entering into a development agreement. Now, this property, is, let's see, 7.73 acres. However, at the recommendation of the Planning Commission, the applicant changed, and instead of rezoning the whole property, only a portion of it, the 3.89 acres, will be considered under this change, and the rest of the property would remain under the current zone. And then, of course, the development agreement will also impose additional limitations on hours and certain required improvements. And so that's the issue before us. Any additional comments anyone wants to add on before we open the public hearing?
Just to note, Mayor, that the development agreement takes out most of what you would typically be able to do in an M zone and limits it to really what you could do in a C2 zone with the addition of warehousing, but with restricted hours for loading and unloading, and with the addition of some light manufacturing that does not require any venting. So it's, I mean, it's like a C2, a little plus rather than an M. And, you know, the question could still be made, and the comment was made that this is still not a good allowance or change. But, you know, that's what we have to decide.
Yes. And in fact, this is not new. There have been other occasions where we've made changes with zoning, but limited it in scope so that it could not expand to that full use. Limit what was accomplished there, what was allowed.
And I would also note that this development, like anytime we enter into a development, it runs with the land, meaning it binds future property owners, future occupiers of the property. It's not just for this particular person. If they leave, then it's now an M zone. It would still be restricted for the development.
Mayor, Councilmember Karen Lang would like to speak.
Okay. Councilwoman Lang, go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to vote in favor of this zone change. This piece of property, since it's been vacant, has been quite a burden on the neighbors to the north. They've had a lot of illegal activity right by their back fence. There's been a lot of theft inside the building, thus a lot of problems to the north neighbors. Also, I think this will be a good addition here, and we're leaving the parking lot still zone 2 or C2 so that if we could get another, if they could find another use similar to the dentist that just built in that parking lot, I think that would be a great addition to this area. Police has been out to this building numerous times a week, it seems like, ever since it went vacant.
All right, thank you. With that introduction, then we will open it the public hearing for public comment. Is there anyone to speak to this? We did have one gentleman, and my mistake, I forgot to remind him that we have this separate public hearing for this, and you're welcome to speak to this one as well. Is there anyone online?
No, sir.
No one online. So if you just want us to take your remarks from earlier, that's fine. Okay. We're just kind of adapting here. So seeing no further public comment, we will close the public comment period and bring it back to the council.
Mayor, I would move for approval of ordinance 20-15.
Second.
Okay, that's properly before us. This is the general plan change from land use from mixed use to light manufacturing. By the way, this property is at 4850 West, 3500 South, sometimes referred to as the old Shopco facility because there used to be a Shopco.
I hope I said ordinance 2015, not resolution.
Yeah, I believe you did.
Okay. I've been known to mix them up.
One of the challenges we have, I know, whenever there is change, we as elected officials have to balance, impacts. Leaving a property vacant for an extended period of time, what would the change do? How would it affect neighborhoods? How would it affect traffic? There are many issues that we have to try and balance out. And so that's our responsibility, is to make those decisions the best way we can, representing the people of West Valley. Anyway, that's my little speech. So are there any further comments? Seeing none, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Fitty Samanu.
Aye.
Councilman Norfelt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Aye.
Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Still with the council.
Move for approval of ordinance 20-16.
Second.
Properly before us. Any further comments? Okay. Seeing no further comments, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Fitty Samanu.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Norfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Then the resolution.
Move for approval of resolution 20-28.
Second. You know, the online people can second too.
Okay. Any further comments? No, no further comments. Then to the vote.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Fitty Samanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilmember Norfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next, we go to resolution 20-29. This is authorizing us to enter into a development agreement with Mountain America Federal Credit Union on a piece of property at 2850 West, 3500 South, approximately 1.05 acres. This is a site that another site that has been vacant for a long time. It's part of our city center zone. And there will be as well, yeah, this is going to be obviously a credit union. It was, I think, years ago, a tire store, repair kind of shop, automotive shop, and has been vacant now for quite a while. And many different proposals have been looked at for this. And I think any type of proposal at this point is exciting. It's good to see finally something taking place there. With that introduction then, to the council.
Move for approval of resolution 20-29.
I'll second that with the note that the development agreement is to make it so that their drive-through can be consistent with other drive-throughs for banks and credit unions in the area, which is actually an exception to what's required in the city center zone, but it seems to be a reasonable accommodation with that asset.
And yeah, with that, because it was the city center zone, that I remember that now. Okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Next, we have resolution 20-30. This is an amended agreement with the Utah Municipal Risk Management Association. This is kind of a routine, fairly technical item. There's a change in the name and some updated references on statutes since this was first entered into. This is our insurance, our risk insurance group that does this for our city and other cities as well. Some clarifying language, and I believe also that there were some additional entities added into this agreement. That's the introduction. Any further comments or motions?
Move to approve resolution 20-30.
Second.
Any further comments? Seeing none, for city report.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
And Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next is resolution 20-31, approving the purchase of some glass and the installation services for that from Valley Glass, Salt Lake City. This is a $70,000 project for our finance department. These funds were set aside a while ago, but just the timing wasn't right. And so there were many other things going on, and now is the time to finally get this completed. That is the proposal before us. The council.
Mayor, I think that replacing the cubicles with glass makes the process more transparent. And so with that, I move for approval of resolution 20-30. 31. That's right, 20-31. Thanks.
Got to be transparent.
That's right.
Second.
Okay, seeing no further comments, to our city report.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we have then Resolution 20-32. This is a proposal to enter into agreement between the city and the Department of Transportation, UDOT, for drainage of the area around the public safety headquarters. UDOT has some drains already underground, and we routinely work together. When they tap into our lines, we tap into theirs, but it must be done by formal agreement. That is the purpose of this this proposal, and that's probably enough introduction. Pretty routine thing.
Mayor, Councilmember Lang would like to comment.
Okay.
For approval of Resolution 20-32.
Okay. Then that's properly before us. And thank you. We're glad to have at least see if that works over the electronic process. So, with that then, any further comments? Seeing none, to our city recorder for the vote.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Bueller.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
And Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. I would mention that we will not have a city council meeting March 24th, nor on March 31st. They have been canceled. They were canceled originally due to party caucus meetings and the 5th Tuesday of the month. And so we will not hold meetings then, even though the caucus meetings were canceled. We have scheduled this room for construction. During that time, we will reconvene on April 7th for our next meeting. And we will determine our situation then, whether that will be, well, it will be a different electronic process, not necessarily different in how we participate, but we will have new equipment and we'll work through that for that meeting. And depending upon the situation with the coronavirus, the COVID-19, we'll see exactly what we might do. It may be 100% electronic. There are a number of organizations that have already opted to go 100% electronic. And with our new equipment, that may work out a little easier when we do that than if we do that. Other than that, we do thank you. We encourage our citizens to do their very best during this difficult time. Keep a lookout towards your neighbors. If there's any special needs, to assist them in any way you can, but still doing what we can to keep our social distance and to not have large groups gathered together so that this coronavirus will not spread too far. And we appreciate everything that people are doing out there of their own accord to make this work. One small mistake, like Hunter High School, can affect a lot of people. Very interesting situation there. So again, we thank our residents of West Valley for doing their best during this time. Any final comments from anyone on the council? Seeing none. Motion to adjourn is in order. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. We are adjourned. Have a couple of safe weeks till we meet again.